Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Wisconsin for the third round of the NXTGEN Power Maxed Racing Season 19 race of the WTCR Monday Night League. Here we are in the track of Road America. Not the most popular track from America, but a good one nonetheless, and especially good for touring cars. You'll believe me by the end of the night. I hope you believe me by the end of the night anyway. So, what do we have in store for you tonight? We have qualifying coming up in 4 minutes as per the timer. We will have 3 races tonight. I believe 2 of them are 15 minutes and the other one is 18 minutes. One day I will get this absolutely right. But it'd be good to give you a bit of a preview of the track. Are we able to show it? No, we're not yet. We might have to wait till later to show you the track map. Cheers, Raceroom. But yeah, you can see the small diagram on the right there. It's a very odd shaped track. Yeah, it's not the most conventional shape for a track, but it really is a thrilling one to drive, and I think we're going to see some good battling here today. There's plenty of overtaking opportunities. Almost every corner is an opportunity to overtake. Lots of side-by-side action, hopefully in store today, and a nice long 180 degree corner we saw Alex Ward go through just then, known as the Carousel, one of the most notable corners on this circuit. We will, just before qualifying gets started, we will go through the championship stand-ins. And first of all, the top 10 coming into this round. So last time out at Brands Hatch, Ben Walker took the honours in race 1, a podium again in race 2, and a 4th place in race 3. A pretty dominant night for Ben Walker in the Hyundai. He will take the lead in the championship by 11 points over Lee Horne, the season 17 champion. Jamie Dorey will line himself up in 3rd there in the championship. Only 1 podium to his name so far, but scoring plenty of points. He's got himself in 3rd there with Zariah Grunion and an unfortunate DNF. He's had at least 1 race in each meeting so far this season where it hasn't gone quite to plan. He sits there in 4th. Do not write him off just yet. He is not that far behind, believe me. Fraser Ostance in 5th there with a good outing in Brands Hatch, particularly in race 1 with the 2nd place. Will Foyle, he's had a few good races, he's had a few bad ones. He sits there in 6th place. Ogu Zagan, our driver of the day last week, 7th place there in the Honda. Jonas Lindberg in 8th, Jeff Perkis in 9th, and we all, if you watched last week, you remember Jeff Perkis had the rotten luck last week of leading in race 1, and he was knocked back with a penalty, not a penalty, a technical difficulty, which put him out of contention for the win. Great comeback in race 2 and race 3 for that matter to get himself 5th and 5th. 9th there. Look out for Jeff today. Arnaud Chenonnier took his maiden win in NXTGEN and 10th in the championship coming into today's round. We'll go through the next batch of drivers, 11th to 20th. A bit behind on the bring up the standings, but there they are. Matthew Addy, 11th there. He had a really good outing in race 3, finishing 2nd just behind Chenonnier. Arnaldo Guedes, not a great outing at Brands Hatch, but he sits there in 12th. Alexander Jakobsen, he was looking good in race 1, but a DNF in race 3, and not a very good race 2, puts him 13th in the championship. Neil Crave was there in 14th. Justin Welbler missed the last round, but he's back here today, 15th. Roy Plummer in 16th. Jürgen Mansby Pedersen in 17th, Emil Holmberg in 18th, Stephen de Gravelli in 19th, and Jack Taylor in 20th, who is not taking part today, unfortunately. And we've got 4 more drivers just to round it off who haven't done quite as well so far this season, but there they are. It's Per-Andre Sturla. Per missed last week, I believe, but I think he might be back this week. Let's just check if he is. Well, he's not, unfortunately. Yeah, Sturla started the season at Portimao, didn't have a good outing, but hopefully we'll see him back soon. Orbin Kilgren, his first outing last week in 22nd there. Matt Emmons in 23rd, and Yunus Karbi not having a good outing this season so far. He's in 24th. So, championship ballast results. The championship standings are what the ballast looks like for each meeting. And of course, in first there we've got Ben Walker. with 60 kilos. Lee Horne is second in the championship, so he has 6 less, and then 6 less again for Jamie Dorey, and it runs all the way down to 10th, where Arnold Chenonier will have 6 kilos. It will change per race throughout the night based on the top 10 finishers. We also have reverse grids. Race 2 is based off the top 8 reversed finishers in race 1, of course, and then race 3 grid is based off the top 15 finishers of race 2. And we're just looking at, well, there's a bit of action to watch then. It was Justin Welbel as a warm-up here. Have we missed qualifying? What's going on here? We should have qualifying right now, but it says we're in a warm-up. I wonder what's going on here. We'll see if we can find out, but yeah, we should be in a qualifying session right now, but we're actually in a warm-up. Definitely didn't miss qualifying, did we? We definitely didn't. Very strange. Been a bit of a shaky start for us so far, isn't it? But yeah, we'll see if we can find out soon what's going on. Just while that's all getting sorted out, here's what we have in store this season. We've been to Portimao, we've been to Brands Hatch Indy, we're here at Road America today. We're back over to Europe for Circuit Zolder. Autodrom Most is round 5, round 6 is the Scandinavian Raceway, which will take place after the Christmas and New Year break. Mid-Ohio round 7, Ningbo is in round 8, back to Europe for Aragon in round 9, and round 10 will be Spa. Now, I have just been told there is an error with the server, so we will have to reset. The races will still be going ahead tonight as normal, but we will have to be taking a quick break now so we can allow the guys to set the server back up for what speed. There's an issue with it, so they just have to reset it to fix it. But we'll be back very, very shortly, everyone, with qualifying for round 3. Don't go away. Thank you. The server's back on. We've got over a 5-minute wait before we start qualifying. Apologies for the chaotic start so far, everyone. Everything's sorted out now, and we will resume service as everyone joins the server. So, as everything was a little bit rushed just before all that happened, we'll just remind you guys of the league and the season itself. Portimao and Brands Hatch Indy has come and gone. We're here today at the Road America circuit for round 3. Next week we'll be at Circuit Zolder in Belgium. Then it'll be a quick trip down to Czechia and the Autodrom Most circuit, which is mostly popular with bikes and trucks, but it is the host of touring cars for us on that particular week. Then we're off for Christmas and New Year for 2 weeks, and then we'll be back for round 6 for the Scandinavian Raceway, otherwise known as Anderstorp. Round 7, Mid-Ohio for another trip over the Atlantic, then over the Pacific to China for the Ningbo International Speed Park, which has hosted real-life WTCR races in the past. Then we're back over the Atlantic, well, whichever way you go, back over to Europe for the Motorland Aragon circuit, which has this year hosted, for the first time ever, WTCR races, but actually 2. It's a very good venue for touring cars. Very popular with MotoGP, but it's turned out to be a pretty good venue for touring cars. That'll be on round 9. And round 10, all roads lead to Spa, don't they? Well, if they don't, they should. Spa-Francorchamps will end the championship for round 10. Definitely want to tune in for. Spa has hosted some great events in sim racing and real-life racing. Almost all manner of series try to go to Spa-Francorchamps. Even rallying, even the stuff that's not even on the circuit goes to Spa. A little bit about the series, just to flash this back up again. The Next Gen Racing Series, there are plenty of leagues, simulations available by Next Gen Racing. They do Raceroom, iRacing, Assetto Corsa, Automobilista 2, Project Cars, I believe, Gran Turismo, all kinds of sims available at the Next Gen Racing community, which you can join via Facebook group. If you just search Next Gen as it's spelled in the top left there, you'll find Next Gen Racing Group, and you can just follow it as a fan, or you can get involved in the racing. To get involved in this series, you need to contact Lee Horne. He is one of our competitors today, second in the championship, but he's the guy you need to get in touch with in order to race in this series. You just need Raceroom, the simulation, which is free via Steam. The cars and the tracks do cost, however. The cars are approximately £4 per car, or you can get the whole pack for £10, of which you get 7 different manufacturers and about 30 different liveries. So it's quite a good collection. WTCR 2019. Yeah, it's a great sim to get involved with. It's a great championship to get involved in. As you can tell from the last 2 weeks of racing in this championship, it's been some very exciting racing. From you know, you don't even have to be quick to take part in this league. You know, if you don't think you're quite as good as some of the guys you're seeing on here, you know, there is a battle for everyone in well, not just in this league, in any form of sim racing. Don't be shy to get involved, or use it as a platform to improve yourself, or use it as a platform to show off how good you are, if that's your capability. Not long until qualifying starts. Hopefully everybody gets into the server. We have 20 drivers taking part tonight, so it looks like most people seem to have got back in. A couple of new drivers about today. We'll go on board with them in qualifying, hopefully, but Chris Needham is a new driver, and Alex Ward. So 2 to look out for there. Justin Wellbelove's coming back after a week off. Who else have we got returning? Jeff Perkins will be looking for redemption after the bad luck of race 1 last week. Zariah Grooney under DNF in race 3 last week, so he'd be looking for better. William Four, who we're watching there, he hasn't had the greatest of starts this season. We know how good well, if you follow Exiled and Next Gen, you know how good he can be. And look at all these cars just shuffling out of the pits straight away, trying to get the best position in the traffic. We go back with William Four. I mean, I believe that's the likes of Lee Horne around him. Jeff Perkins is right behind him. Is that Lee Horne right in front of him? Yes, it is. And in front of him, I think, is Fraser Rostance. Yes, it is. So Fraser deciding not to have anybody in front of him. He wants a clear track ahead of him as they go through Moraine Sweep under that cheese bridge. And then down towards turn 5. It's a long braking zone. A big opportunity to overtake here. And a big opportunity to mess it up. Run wide, etc. Up the hill under that Corvette bridge into turn 6, a 90-degree left-hander. And then into a fast but tricky right-hander of turn 7. As they come down the Hurry Downs. I'm not sure why it's called that, but that's what it's called, Hurry Downs. Into the sharp left-hander, turn 8 here. And then here comes the most popular corner on the circuit, the carousel. We'll go on board with Fraser Rostance. It's just a hard right turn, and it goes on forever and ever. It's classified as 2 turns, this one, so it's turn 9 and turn 10, this carousel. And now it's flat out, all the way to Canada Corner. At the bottom here, turn 11, this is the kink. Flat out through here. Should be flat out anyway. A little bit of grass on the edge there, nothing wrong with that. 11A is this corner here, Kettle Bottoms. And then over to turn 12, which is Canada Corner. I assume it's the closest corner to Canada, if that's the name. You can run nice and wide there. Try not to obscure too much of the track limits. into turn 13. You can take this flat out. It's a very, very tricky corner as you go up the hill towards the final corner of turn 14. And then a long, long start-finish straight going up the hill, as you can see there, to start the lap. So let's... Well, we're looking at Oguzagan because he's first on the timing boards, because I think he was first to enter the session, as he slows down to take a big exit from turn 14 to start his lap. Let's get back with Fraser Rossens, who is... Look at this plunge down the hill now towards turn 1. It's a real up and down track, and a very unsettled car going across the curbs then from Fraser Rossens. Lee Horne and William Ford going very wide there as Lee Horne abandons his lap already. William Ford deciding to carry on. I think Lee Horne might have damaged his suspension there, or pulled off to let people by. Either or, lap ruined already for Lee Horne. He would not want that. It's a long qualifying session nonetheless. Plenty of time to get your time in. But no time to lose really, when you want all the time you can get for setting a time. So 40.661 for Fraser Rossens. That's not a bad first split. Will Ford a little bit quicker, 610, but he's got Jeff Perkins right behind him. 40.405 is very quick in Sector 1. Good stuff from Jeff Perkins, who only has 12 kilos of ballast. As I said, he's looking for redemption. He's had technical difficulties. I did question him about it during the week. Oh, very wide there, coming out of turn 8. Did that invalidate his lap? I don't know. We'll find out. But yeah, leading race 1 comfortably. Not pulling away, but he wasn't pulling away, but he was leading it nonetheless, and looked very much in favour for the win. Taken away from him by a computer crashing on him. That was an invalidated lap from Jeff Perkins. A good Sector 1 ruin there. It looks like William Fall is still on for a good lap here, but Fraser Rossens quicker than him at the moment. I don't know if anyone else is setting the pace quicker at the moment. Can't quite see the sector times until they start putting the laps in, as in completed. So we'll see how Fraser gets on here. The first to complete a first flying lap. Very good exit coming out of turn 3 there. Looks like he's pulled away a little bit from William Ford. The split times do suggest that as well. Split 2 anyway. Across the line comes Fraser Rossens. 2:16.973. William Foyle. Invalidated lap time. Jeff Perkins invalidated lap time. Justin Wellbeloved 2:17.3. 4/10ths down from Fraser Rossens. Neil Crave at 17.4. Just a little bit off of Justin Wellbeloved. Fraser Rossens is the man to beat at the moment. Matsby Pedersen puts in a time. Ben Walker, championship leader, an awful starting lap. He'd be looking for much better than that. 1.5 off the pace with 60 kilos on board, may I remind you. Whether that's putting him down, I'm not too sure. But expected far better from him, our championship leader. Fraser Rossens reset and coming back out of the pits. That's the beauty of sim racing. You don't have to do a lap to come back to the pits. You can just press escape and you're going back in. Now that's Justin Wellbeloved with a purple sector. That means absolute best of him. That's not outright circuit best, or field best, or driver best. That's his own personal best of the session. Sector 1 purple. Neil Crave is also faster in his sector, not far behind, and a 40.484. That's pretty good from Neil Crave. That is very good. That's around about the same region as what Jeff Perkins got until it was invalidated. Still on board. Neil Crave here. Let's see what Justin Wellbeloved has managed in Sector 2. Well, he's still green, but it's a little down still. He's got someone ahead of him, and Justin resets. He got stuck behind a slower car in front of him. That might have been Jürgen Madsby Pedersen. Neil Crave with a real bad Sector 3 there. Sector 1, he hooked it up brilliantly, but he's lost nearly half a second in Sector 2 there. but he's going to complete the lap nonetheless. There's someone weaving off in front of him now. I think that might have been Jeff Purkis. But at the moment, Fraser Rostons still top of the pops right now with a 16.9, the only one in the 216s at the moment. We're still waiting for a lot of lap times to come through. Ben Walker and William Ford with unimpressive lap times so far. As across the line goes Albin Kielgren. He puts himself in 13th, his second race here for Exiled in the 22 Audi livery. Now to another ComTU Audi livery, but this one number 10, Ronaldo Guedes in 11th so far. Can he improve his time? He's got green splits, so might be an improvement. It's looking good in relative to his sector times, and yes, he does go quicker to 6th at the moment, right behind Jeff Purkis, right in front of William Ford. That's not a bad pair of cars to be in between anyway. Alexander Jakobsen hasn't set a time yet, but he's put in a relatively okay time in Sector 1. Not quite to the standard of Fraser Rostons, who is 0.6, so he's 0.3 down. Stephen de Grevelier, a second off the pace in Sector 1, but 4 seconds off the pace in terms of only completed lap, well, 8, the fastest completed lap so far, so plenty to improve on for him. As he goes wide there, that'll invalidate his lap there. He'll have to try again. It's a long lap here at Road America. 2 minutes 16, 2 minutes 17, 2 minutes 18 for some, which means in this session you got an out lap, you got an a hot lap, and that's about 5 minutes done. So realistically, you know, if you're going to come into the pits after each flying lap, you're only going to get 3 flying laps. However, if you stay out, you could get in a lot more. That's what some drivers have planned to do, some drivers haven't. Now, Zarai Grunian, 40.582, purple, which means he is quicker in terms of relative to the fastest car on the track at the moment, which is Fraser Rostons. We'll have to see if he can get Sector 2. Let's just go on board as we go under the Speedville Bridge. Nice and wide, late entry into the carousel. Loading the wheel to 180 degrees there. Unloading there and loading again to make sure you get everything out of those front tyres. Front wheel drive means when you put the foot down, the car just, well, it just goes straight on rather than spinning round. That's the difference between the two. Looked fairly clean through the kink there. Skarunian in the Norbert Michelitz livery comes through for another purple sector. At the moment, he's lapping quicker than Fraser Rostons. Jonas Lindberg goes 4th and Chris Needham, newcomer today, goes 5th. That's not Jeff Purkis down to 6th and Will Foyle down to 8th. Ben Walker's in 12th. Our championship leader, 12th at the moment. Not good for him so far. Basarai Grunian, can he put this into provisional pole position with 4 3/4 minutes to go? Up the hill. Over the crest. Straight to the finish now. 2:16.889. That puts him second. No, it wasn't. 2:16.995. Sorry, I saw 8s instead of 9s. Do apologise for that. Just a fraction off Fraser Rostons, and he was all lost in that 3rd sector. Fraser's opening lap was a blinder by the looks of it. But I know there's still plenty more to come out of these drivers. We've seen drivers doing 40.4 in that opening sector. We're seeing drivers screw up Sector 3. There's plenty more to be had from these drivers. I'm sure they'll feel the same. Justin Wellbeloved seems to be going quick in Sector 1, but Sector 2, awful by the looks of it. He'll continue anyway and try and get one more lap in. I mean, if you reset to the pits, you won't get enough time to get back round and complete your hot lap. Once the timer expires, that's it. It moves on with the session. So, better for Justin to stay out and try and get one more lap in. William Foyle. Greens, and look at the relatives. They're relative to his splits, I think. No, they're not. They are relative to the times you can see in there, relative to the leader, so he isn't that far behind. How's he going to get on? Through Sector 3, purple. Oh, it's not quite enough, but it puts him 3rd place. 2:17.137 for William Ford. That's not bad. You'll take that. Lee Horne has got himself into 7th place by the looks of it. Ben Walker, championship leader. I know I keep saying it, but he's down in 15th now as Chenonier has just put himself into 12th place. Ben Walker's not even on the track. That's all we're going to see from Ben Walker. The championship leader will start this race from 15th on the grid, giving a big advantage, or big opportunity should I say, for the guys in front of him in the championship to make back some points. I wonder what the reason is for Ben Walker doing this. 1.4 seconds off the pace. He was flying at Brands Hatch as well. But the thing is with these cars, I mean, it sounds odd to say it, but it really is the reality based on experience and based on other people's telling. As we see Lee Horne with a purple sector 1 there, so we'll have to keep an eye on him. But yeah, the weird thing about these cars is once you go above 50 kilos of ballast, it just seems to lose a lot of performance. But below 50 kilos, it's manageable. Above that, the car just becomes near unbearable to drive. Not quite as dramatic as that, but it's quite a lot more difficult, let's just say. Lee Horne, someone with a bit less ballast than Ben Walker, 54 kilos in fact, but a purple sector at the moment. Proving you can do plenty, even with ballast, but he loses a lot in sector 2. Now that might have been on the straights where ballast weighing the car down will hugely affect performance, but going wide there in sector 3 has invalidated his lap. That'll be the last time we see Lee Horne in this session as he backs off. He knows he's ruined it now. Is anyone on a flyer? Stephen de Gravelia, Jeff Purkis, sorry. Purkis Purples. That's quite a cool name, Purkis Purple, or Purple Purkis. Now, can he hook up a good sector 3 here? We know Fraser Ostens has had the upper hand on the other drivers in sector 3, i.e. Gurunian and Wellbeloved. Can Jeff Purkis put it on pole position? He couldn't quite manage it last week, but he got it into the lead. Matthew Addy has taken 9th place. We just saw him go up there. This is Jeff Purkis, who was 12th. Can he get it up higher? Our results have come up a little bit early, but that'll put Jeff Purkis in 4th place. But here are our standings at the moment. I'm not sure if anyone else is yet to finish. Neil Crave. Neil Crave's got something to put in. We'll go through these times very soon. Oh, Raceroom, thank you for doing this to us. Neil Crave, 7th there. Yep, 7th. Right, so Fraser Rostens has successfully put it on pole position and takes the bonus point today. We'll get the results back up for you now so we can go back through them. There we go, Fraser Rostens took pole position, as we tried to say, and the bonus point. Zarai Gurunian just missing out on pole position by 22 thousandths of a second. Row 2 will be taken up by the two Brits, William Foyle of Crest Autosport and Jeff Purkis of NXTGEN Racing, apparently. Exiled Justin Wellbeloved in the Lincoln Co car will take 5th place, with Jonas Leenberg in 6th place. A good qualifying session for him after such a slow start to the season, shall we say, for Jonas. He's normally a lot better than that. Two Brits on the 4th row of Neil Crave and Lee Horne, both NXTGEN Racing drivers, looking to team up and get higher up the grid, but 8th place is the reverse grid slot, so Lee Horne won't be hugely disappointed with where he is right now. Alexander Jakobsen had quite a good outing at Brands Hatch before the DNF in race 3, and actually a disappointing end to race 2, so it wasn't actually that good at Brands Hatch, but he was looking quick. He's in 9th with Arnaldo Guedes, consistent as ever, mid-pack for him, 10th place. Matthew Addy will take 11th, with newcomer Chris Needham taking 12th place there. Excuse me. Roy Plummer in 13th, with last week's race 3 winner Arnaud Chenonier in 14th. Jürgen Madsby Pedersen will take 15th, with championship leader Ben Walker in 16th. 1.4 seconds off the pace. We'll have to see how he gets on in the race. Last week's driver of the day, Argus Agan, qualifies 17th. Not very good from him, but we'll see how he gets on later in the day. Albin Kilgren will take 18th place, 19th Stephen de Gravelia, and 20th, you can't see him there, but 20th was taken up by Alex Ward. So there's your starting grid for race 1. Here at Road America. Oh, sorry, we'll get that back for you. There you go, Road America Grand Prix circuit. The nice iconic Briggs and Stratton. I raced a karting chassis that was made by Briggs and Stratton once. Very good chassis. This is the NXTGEN Power Max Racing WTCR League Season 19 Round 3 at Road America. And here we go. Fraser Austin starts on pole position. Away we go. Good start for Fraser. Not bad from Soraya Karunian either. All the drivers will begin to shuffle over to the left as alongside William Foyle came Jeff Purkis. Will William Foyle be able to get over and take a good line into turn 1? It looks like Fraser Austin's going to lead into turn 1 and William Foyle's up the inside of Soraya Karunian going around. Turn 1, it looks like William Foyle is good to take second place so far as he has the inside for the next corner. Justin Wellbelow has lost out to has taken 5th place, slots in behind Jeff Purkis. Fraser Austin has got Soraya Karunian right behind him now as William Foyle slots back in to 3rd place. Down towards turn 5. Soraya Karunian now on the outside of Fraser Austin. There's quite a few 2-wide situations here. Let's hope they all get out of the corner safe and sound. Justin's alongside Jeff back there. Fraser Austin loses the lead to Soraya Karunian as Soraya had a better exit out of 5 and has got in front of him coming around 6. So Soraya Karunian takes the lead here as we're about halfway around lap 1. Jonas Leenberg has taken 5th place from Justin Wellbelow. Back there, Lee Horne has lost out to Alexander Jakobsen. We're on board with William Foyle as we go around the carousel for the first time. Look at Fraser Austin's just pull away from William Foyle. Fraser hasn't got much ballast on board, so that'll be helping him out. Round the kink. William Foyle pulling slightly away from Jeff Purkis behind him, getting a good tow from Fraser Austin and Soraya Karunian in front of him. Heavy braking as we go into Canada corner. Fraser Austin not far from Soraya Karunian. On board with William Foyle yet again, real close to Fraser Austin. Going around turn 13. Now breaking into turn 14. This is a corner you can take many lines in. One that will get you a good exit. One that gets you through the corner pretty quickly. And William Foyle looks to be edging up the inside of Fraser Austin. You can just see William peeking to the left, to the right of him there as William Foyle successfully completes the move. Will Fraser Austin get the undercut? No, he won't. William Foyle takes 2nd place here at Road America as Fraser Austin is now coming under pressure from Jeff Purkis, who got a knock from Jonas Leenberg there, but Jeff Purkis got away with it. Jonas Leenberg, another nudge on someone. He's been been one of the drivers that's caused a lot of contact so far this season, dare I say it, but that's rumour around the paddock as he looks to the inside of Jeff Purkis now. Will he complete the move? It looks like he's got alongside and in front quite successfully already. Yes, he has. Good move from Jonas Leenberg there as he goes wide. Actually, it wasn't a particularly great move. Jeff Purkis read that beautifully. Straight back in front of him. And now Leenberg is under some trouble from Justin Wellbelow, and this is Lee Horne and Neil Crave battling. Neil Crave has the inside for this little kink to the right. And right behind Lee Horne is Alexander Jakobsen, you can see there. Arnaldo Guedes looking right behind them. Oh, Jakobsen, bit of door contact with Lee Horne. He's still on the outside and will hold the inside going into the carousel. This is the battle for reverse grid. We were so focused on it last week and we're probably going to be focused on it this week. Lee Horne slots behind into 9th place. Jakobsen takes 8th and Guedes is right behind Horne. Will Foyle, he took second at the beginning of this lap and he's making quick change to catch up with Zariah Garunian ahead of him. Both got a very similar amount of ballast, I believe. You can obscure some of the track limits on the exit of turn 12 there. Canada corner. Now coming up to turn 14. What kind of line will take? Wide and late in, trying to get a good exit. Now, William Foyle, will he have a good draft on Zariah Garunian? Yes, he will. Look at him just pull up to the Hyundai. Will Zariah defend the inside or the outside? Looks like he's comfortable with defending the inside. William Foyle will look to the outside to try and get round Zariah Garunian the hard way. Let's see how he gets on. Will he have the upper hand of pace? Late as the late breakers, Zariah Garunian just about manages it. William Foyle tucking back behind him. He's going to try another move later on. There's a big drafting zone coming up right after this corner here. As we approach turn 5, very wide there for William Foyle. That might have compromised his exit. Might not be able to get up onto Zariah Garunian before the next corner. I could be wrong. Gaining a little bit. That Hyundai's not very good in a straight line. Here goes William Foyle late on the brakes, but is not close enough to try the move. Saw Jeff Perkins there defending a little bit from Justin Welbler. Nothing to worry about there, but Leenberg has found his way ahead of Jeff Perkins in the last lap. As Justin Welbler's looking to get past Jeff Perkins. The Audi's not going great so far. Lee Horne has even dropped to 10th on that previous lap. Now, news on the championship leader. Ben Walker, 17th place. He started 16th. He's really struggling today, which is real strange to see, as he's been dominating the season so far. Maybe it's a track he's just not suited to. Nice onboard shot here with Justin Welbler right behind Jeff Perkins. Jonas Leenberg's pulling away from these two. Oh, and Justin Welbler had a bit too much speed coming through the kink there, had to run wide, lost momentum. But Jonas Leenberg is setting about catching the front three here, and that was Zariah Garunian going wide at Canada corner. William Foyle takes the lead. We just about caught that. There was no contact involved there. It was just Zariah running very wide. William Foyle in the Volkswagen is your leader. And Fraser Rostons all over the rear of Zariah Garunian, trying to capitalise on his mistake. Justin Welbler is right behind Jeff Perkins. Fraser Rostons, what can he do about Zariah Garunian here? He hasn't got quite as much speed down this straight as William Foyle had on that Hyundai. Although he is edging a little bit closer, is Fraser. That Hyundai really isn't good down the straight. Not as good as the Audi, Cupra and the Volkswagen, all made by the same company. And that is Jeff Perkins and Justin Welbler alongside each other. Justin had the inside for turn 1. Can Jeff hang on going into turn 2? It looks like Justin's going to make the move and complete it. Yes, he does. Justin Welbler in the Andy Priaulx Lincoln Co car gets ahead into 5th place. Zariah Garunian, good exit out of 2 it seems. Down towards turn 5. He looks to the outside. William Foyle looks to defend. Hangs on. Zariah Garunian will try and get the undercut, but Will didn't run wide enough for that to happen. Still right behind him. Fraser Rostons also right behind these two. The pole sitter won't be happy where he is right now in comparison to where he started. William Foyle would definitely be happy, as he's come from 4th. Oh, and Zariah Garunian looking for the move. He slid it up the inside, but he wasn't quite far enough alongside. He was nearly a Kvyat versus Lance Stroll manoeuvre there, but they made it work. Zariah Garunian will have to try again later. Will Foyle didn't give him much room, but he did have the corner. He had most of the car ahead, more of the car ahead. This is close now between these two. Justin Welbler back there has broke away from Jeff Perkins a little bit. Into Canada corner. Zariah Garunian's up the inside of Will Foyle. Makes the move count. And he's got it back. Back into the lead goes Zariah Garunian. Now Fraser Rostons trying to capitalise on that, but couldn't quite get alongside Will Foyle. Will Foyle's got to try again. That was a real good move from Soraya. Set it up from all the way back to the corner before the carousel, turn 8. Made all the slipstreaming count through the kink and got up the inside for Canada's corner. It's a long process that, but he's made it work. Great craftsmanship from the Ukrainian driver. Will Foyle back on the outside of Garunian. Doesn't have enough. Slots back in. He cannot let Fraser slip up the inside. Fraser thought about it, but not close enough. This is all making or helping Lindbergh catch up back there in 4th in the other Hyundai. Just going to keep an eye on other stuff going on in the field. Alexander Jakobsen is right behind Neil Crave. Jakobsen holding on to pole position for race 2, and he's got a big gap ahead of the guys behind him. That's Guedes fending off Needham and Lee Horne. We'll keep an eye on these guys for a second. Needham in the Honda Civic, the all-Inkle car. Can't get out the inside of Guedes, but Lee Horne will take to the outside. Guedes goes wide, and Needham will say thank you very much. He very much needed that. He gets himself in front, and there's a 3-wide situation there. Aguzagan has been spun round by Chenonnier. Aguzagan with a big charge up the field was taken out then by the Frenchman, and he's struggling to get away as he's stuck in the kitty litter there. And that was a 3-wide going into a very narrow 90-degree corner that was probably never going to work. It did kind of look like that Aguzagan turned across the Frenchman, but the Frenchman leaving his nose into a gap that probably wasn't going to convert into an overtake. Let the stewards decide, not me. I'm just a commentator today. This is Fraser Rustins back with the battle for the top 1. Battle for the top 3 maybe. Amongst the top 3, and look at this. Lindbergh's catching up, Wellbelove's catching up. This could be a battle, a 5-way battle for the lead as we descend into the final 4 minutes of this race. Will Foyle, he managed to find his way past Soraya momentarily. He's got to find his way back past him somehow in the next 3.5 minutes, with others catching him. We look back, and Jakobsen still all over the rear of Neil Crave. Needham has broken away from the battle with I can't remember, Arnaldo Guedes, who's dropped down to 14th, unfortunately for him. But Needham will set his eyes on catching up with 8th place Jakobsen, with Lee Horne right behind him. Lee Horne not having a good race here, and it might just well be that having 50 plus kilos of ballast really does hamper you on this track. We'll have to find out off Lee Horne later on. Look at this, Will Foyle right all over the rear of, I was going to say Norbert Michelitz then, it's Soraya Garunian. He takes to the outside. Will he hold it? It's not really the corner to try overtaking on the outside. It doesn't really work. But there are plenty of opportunities to overtake on this track. You just need to plan them. Fraser Roston staying a bit quiet there. He just must be happy with taking a top 3. Even though he'd taken pole position, he hasn't really been putting a threat in on William Ford. He might be waiting for these guys to mess up and then capitalise on it. Just before we watch these guys, Needham's really close to Jakobsen, nearly. Jakobsen's dropped off from Neil Crave, so this battle for 8th is going to hotten up very soon. Here we go, back with the battle for 1st, and all cars are within half a second of each other, nearly. Not quite enough of a pull on the other cars to make moves here just yet. There'll be 1 lap remaining when this one completes, of which Soraya Garunian, leading the race at the moment, has the advantage. And in fact, it was this track that it's weird how I've just remembered this. The first time I ever raced against Soraya Garunian was in fact on this track, and would you believe it, he won that race. So This must be one that Soraya really does like. And William Full is trying the inside, but Soraya just not letting him. Oh, and that's William Full on the outside. Soraya Grunion still side by side coming out of turn one. William Full hanging it on the outside still. This could work for William Full. He's still on the outside. Soraya Grunion technically in second place now. And that's William Full. He's slightly ahead of Soraya Grunion. Has he made this work around the outside? He has. He's ahead into first place on this final lap with Fraser Rostons now on the inside. Is he going to go for a move on William Full? Yes, he is. And it's not going to work just yet, but he's trying on Soraya Grunion. And with Lindbergh right on the outside of him. That could have been very big from Fraser there, but he hangs on to third at the moment. Will Full with a brilliant move round the outside of Soraya Grunion, taking 2 corners to do it, but he's made it work nonetheless. Move of the day so far from William Full there. Lee Horne's dropped down to 11th place, so his chance at 8th is well and truly knocked out as Jack Jakobsen real close to Neil Crave yet again. He looks comfortable for a reverse grid pole. But let's stay with these guys up here. Soraya Grunion, what answer has he got to William Full? Full seems to have broken away from him. Ever so slightly. That's not going to be close enough for Soraya to catch back up. Fraser Rostons, has he got an answer for this? Lindbergh's dropped back a little bit. He's alongside Justin Welbelove. Nothing happens between them three, and Justin Welbelove takes 4th place. Fraser Rostons alongside Soraya. No, not quite. Oh, I thought he was alongside. It's still very close between these three. He's approached the final corner, turn 14. William Full does not defend the inside. He doesn't need to. He just needs to get a good corner, good exit here, and he does. There's your top 3. William Full will be your race winner for the first time this season. The Crest Autosport British driver from Lincoln takes his first win of the season. Good race from these three. Soraya Grunion takes 2nd. Fraser Rostons 3rd. Justin Welbelove on the final 2 corners takes 4th. Lindbergh 5th. Perkis 6th. Crave comes through in 7th with Jakobsen right behind, who will take pole position for race 2. Needham on his debut. A good race there in 9th. Oh my word, this is classic Raceroom, isn't it? Chenonier takes 10th with Lee Horne, a disappointing 11th for him. Matthew Addy in 12th. Roy Plummer 13th. Guedes comes through somewhere else, 14th. Ben Walker, disappointing 15th for him. 16th for Kilgren. Ward takes 17th. De Gravelia 18th. Ogu Zagan, who got spun around by Chenonier earlier in the race, takes 19th. And Jürgen Madsby Pedersen in 20th. Fastest lap goes to William Full. So near maximum points so far, but maximum points in that race for William Full. A brilliant move around the outside of Soraya Grunion to win that race. Highly impressed with that. We will be going away just after this for a quick break while the guys set up the Race 2 server. We'll be back very soon for some more exciting touring car action. We'll be back very soon. Don't go away. And welcome back. Race 2 coming up in about 5 minutes or so. So we've got a bit of housekeeping to do before we get started. And we'll just remind you guys of how Race 1 finished up. So there we go. William Ford with a fantastic overtake on Soraya Garunian. Took the win there for his maiden win of the season. Soraya Garunian taking second place. Still looking for his third win of the season. But still good result nonetheless for him. Fraser Rustance took third place, dropping from pole position to third in that race, but still good points for him. Justin Welbler will take fourth after a last lap battle with Leenbergen coming out on top. Leenberg took fifth, of course. Jeff Perkis in sixth. Neil Crave seventh. Jakobsen eighth, and Jakobsen will start on pole as it's a reverse 8 grid for this race. Jakobsen will start on pole. Chris Needham on his debut, taking a well impressive 9th place with Arnaud Chenonnier in 10th place, coming through the pack to 10th. Lee Horne dropping to 11th. We did find out that it is the ballast that's making these guys struggle. The ones that have got more than 50 kilos of ballast anyway. So Lee Horne and Ben Walker both struggling in the mid-pack there to get anywhere. Matthew Addy took 12th place in there with Roy Plummer, quiet race in 13th. Arnaldo Guedes was involved in some drama. He was battling for 9th. He ended up dropping to 14th as a result of going wide at turn 5. Ben Walker with a disappointing 15th, that dropping a lot of points in the championship. To Soraya Garunian anyway. His other championship rival is Lee Horne, who only finished a few places above him, and Jamie Dorey, who's not racing tonight. There is one drop round available for these drivers, but that's it. So you can't really miss many more than one race. In fact, you can't if you want to be in the championship. But this is good for Soraya Garunian. Big points for him. And he's charged back up to catch up with Ben Walker and Lee Horne. So just before the racing gets restarted, a little bit of a recap on what we've got. This is round 3 at Road America. We did Portimao and Brands Hatch over the last 2 weeks. Next week we're heading over to Zolder. Then we've got Most a week after. And then we're off for Christmas and the New Year, which we'll come back to after the New Year. We'll come back to the Scandinavian Raceway and to Storp. Mid-Ohio will take round 7. Round 8 will be in China for the Ningbo International Speed Park. Round 9 back over to Europe for Aragon in Spain, and then the final round, where else would it be? Spa-Francorchamps for round 10, the finale. It was a very, very action-packed race 1 there. I did say at the start of this stream, Road America provides some really good touring car racing. The elevation changes, the long sweeping corners, the long straights. It's all great, great stuff for touring car racing. And we'll have to see if this reverse grid race will provide some action. I expect race 3 could as well. But we'll have to see. William Foyle coming from 4th on the grid. Yeah, I believe it was 4th on the grid. Or was it 3rd? Drawing a blank now. But he was on the 2nd row anyway, coming through to win the race. Really impressive from him. Of course, this is a Crest Autosport live streaming. He's a Crest Autosport driver, so of course we're pretty happy for him there. But had to work hard to get there, did William. Just watching Leenberg. It says it's Leenberg. It isn't. Well, he seems to think it is. There we go. Now we're watching Chris Needham. Newcomer to NXTGEN Monday Night Raceroom Leagues, and finishing 9th in his opening race, so not a bad start at all from him. I believe Chris Needham is teammates with Arnaud Chenonnier, who finished 10th, so a bit of tag teaming from the two there. RWC Racing. Just a few seconds remaining, so just a quick recap. Pole position for this race will be Alexander Jakobsen, Neil Crave, who finished 7th, will start 2nd. Then Jeff Perkis in 3rd. 4th will start Lindberg. 5th will be Justin Wellblood. 6th will be Fraser Roston. 7th, Zariah Garunian. And 8th will be William Foyle. And then the rest, 9 downwards, are as is. So here we go. The crews will get ready for this second race of the night. Jakobsen lines up on pole there, lights on his car. I'm not sure why. Don't know what advantage that does. But this is race 2 of the Next Gen Power Max Racing Season 19 WTCR League, round 3 at Road America. And here we go. Alexander Jakobsen starts on pole position. Neil Crave in 2nd. Lights are red. We're green, and it's a bad start from Jakobsen. Neil Crave has had a good run on him. It'll be side by side going down towards turn 1 between them two. Jeff Perkis slotting behind Jakobsen at the moment, with Lindberg right behind Neil Crave. Neil Crave seems to be getting slightly further ahead, but later braking from Jakobsen has got him out of trouble and back into first place. That's Jeff Perkis and Jonas Lindberg side by side. Going into turn 2. Lindberg slots it into 3rd place. Nice clean start for this grid so far. This is Jonas Lindberg getting a bit of draft. Behind him is Jeff Perkis and Wellblood side by side. Neil Crave getting alongside Alexander Jakobsen. Jakobsen had a terrible speed down that straight. And Neil Crave's already ahead under the braking zone, as is Lindberg. And back there, Jeff Perkis, William Foyle, all sorts side by side with one another. They come through cleanly. That's also Chris Needham battling with Lee Horne. Lee Horne gets ahead, and Zariah Garunian dropped down a bit to 9th. But he's with Lee Horne there, and look at this. Jakobsen and Crave still battling. Jakobsen snuck it back, and Lindberg's right behind Crave. Here is Jonas Lindberg cutting the track a lot there. I know you said a naughty word there. Need a beep there. Now, that was a good start from William Foyle. He's jumped up 2 places already. He's got past Fraser Rostons and Zariah Garunian. Oh, and that was Neil Crave very close to the wall there as Lindberg's going to make a move. He looks to the outside, he looks to the inside, swapping all kinds of directions. He's got alongside him, but it's not enough. Neil Crave had a good run round the outside. There was an Audi side by side. That's Lee Horne with Fraser Rostons. Lee Horne charging his way through at the moment. From 11th, he's up to 7th already. Zariah Garunian stuck there in 9th at the moment. Oh, and that's side by side between Jonas Lindberg and Neil Crave. And Justin Wellblood's gonna look for the inside. This could be 3 wide going down into turn 1. No, it's not. Justin Wellblood slots back in. Audi pulls out there. That looks like Lee Horne. Jeff Perkis and Justin side by side. Neil Crave and Lindberg side by side. Lindberg takes 2nd place. It's Sweden 1-2 at the moment. And another 3 wide back there. Lee Horne's in amongst it, backs off and slots in behind. Jeff Perkis has lost out to William Foyle now. William Foyle and Lee Horne charging up the grid, and now Zariah Garunian's getting in amongst it as he's got ahead of Lee Horne, puts him back down to 8th. Zariah's back to where he started. Fraser Roston's just sitting behind these in 9th at the moment. Oh, look at this lunge from Neil Crave, couldn't quite get it alongside or past Lindberg as he gets away. Justin Wellblood in his favourite position tonight in 4th, with William Foyle right behind him. William Foyle's having a stormer tonight at the moment. Maximum ballast on his car, may I remind you. William Foyle has 60 kilos now as a result of winning race 1, and he's moved his way up from 8th to 5th so far. The Scandinavian duo, Jonas Lindberg and Alexander Jakobsen, in front, still in front, and pulling away ever so slightly are the pair of them from Neil Crave in the yellow Seat back there. See if these two fight amongst themselves. I believe they're in the same team. I'm not entirely sure. they were in exiled anyway. Will they battle, or will they work together to get away from the pack? My question's been answered already. Lindbergh's alongside Jakobsen. Oh, a lot of cars running wide coming out of Canada corner there. Lindbergh couldn't quite make it work on Alexander Jakobsen then. This is Wellblood following Neil Crave. Oh, look at them. Oh, William Foyle struggling with the ballast there. Oh, understeered him a lot coming out that corner. Coming up the hill. William Foyle's got a lot of ballast on board, and we have the hunting Jeff Perkis right behind him there. Edges up towards him. He's not going to be able to get alongside just yet. But that's Jeff Perkis fending off Zariah Garuni, and Zariah trying what William did on him, on Jeff Perkis, and they're still side by side. Has he learned from William Foyle? He's trying around the outside in turn 2. Oh, it doesn't quite work. Jeff Perkis gets a better corner than him, but it's still a little bit nip and tuck between them two. Look at Lee Horne, no ballast, big shunt up the rear of Jeff Perkis. Get a move on, mate. And it gets them both ahead of Zariah Garunian. Will Lee Horne go for the outbreak on Jeff Perkis? No, he won't. I need to clear my throat at some point, but I don't have time. Oh, Lee Horne looking for Jeff Perkis. Now he's got no ballast on his car. He's really relishing the opportunity to get past these cars, but he hasn't fended off enough just yet. He needs a few more. Not much happening at the front here. Jakobsen is still in front of Lindbergh. Crave still in front of Wellbeloved. And this is Zariah Garunian on the outside of Lee Horne now. That might have relinquished another position. Zariah has the inside for the carousel. There goes Zariah, but Lee Horne had a better exit. Still alongside, he's not going to give up just yet. Lee Horne, with much less ballast, will have the upper hand of speed going into the kink. He'll turn across. He'll give him room, but he knows he's got the upper hand of speed. He doesn't need to cut him off. Zariah Garunian is still hanging on, but it's allowed Fraser Rostons to get involved. Zariah Garunian with all that ballast on board, really struggling against these two. And Zariah slots back in behind Fraser. No, he's still kept alongside Fraser, running very wide there, coming out of Canada's corner. Zariah gets back into... No, he doesn't. He's still alongside. Still side by side between these two. Zariah will hang on to the position, but they've got Chris Needham caught up anyway, right behind them. Argu Zagan, I may remind you, started 19th. He's now in 11th place, doing what he did so well last week, charging through the field. Championship leader coming into tonight's race, Ben Walker, has only got up one position to 14th at the moment. So even with less ballast, he's struggling as well. Into turn 1, that was Neil Crave going for a move on Lindbergh around the outside. Lindbergh lost a lot from Alexander Jakobsen on that lap. I don't think Alexander Jakobsen has won a race in Next Gen. We've still got some time to go, but that's something to put in your minds. Not much going on up front here, which is hard to believe because it's been an action-packed race so far. We've got a battle between Garunian and Rostons up there. Rostons at the inside of Garunian. He might have made that work. He's got the inside for the next corner. This is Garunian. Will he turn in? He will slot in behind Rostons and he'll try again. Lee Horne is already caught up to the back and got away from Fraser Rostons and Garunian, but already on the back of the battle for 4th place. Oh, it could be 3 wide. Jeff Perkis trying on Neil Crave. Justin Wellblood has got ahead, and Will Foyle round the outside of Neil Crave gets ahead and into 4th place. Jeff Perkis and Lee Horne trying their hands at this as well. Neil Crave is dropping like a fly at the moment as Justin Wellblood sets his sights on the Swedish duo in front of him, Lindbergh and Jakobsen. But Will Foyle, with a lot of ballast on board, really hitting his marks tonight. Lee Horne got his way past Jeff Perkis, who's now looking to Neil Crave. Lee Horne has got no ballast on board, swerving all over the track trying to find a way. Oh, and it's a late break from Lee Horne. Oh, no, he understeers into him. Well, he made it work, but I don't know if it was the fairest of moves. Lee Horne nonetheless gets it into position. And that was Jeff Perkins on the grass trying to get past the pair of them. He runs wide, but he gets past Neil Crave. Neil Crave's having a bad lap here, and I don't think it's ending anytime soon, as Fraser Rostons will now find his way alongside him, as might Soraya Garunian. Let's just go on board with Soraya Garunian here. That is the exhaust of Fraser Rostons. Gives him a little nudge. 3 wide going down into turn 1. Jeff Perkins versus Rostons versus Crave. Perkins slots back in, and it's all shuffled up together. Neil Crave will go slightly wider now, put Fraser Rostons back alongside him, and Jeff Perkins back alongside Garunian. Into turn 2, Fraser Rostons slots back in, Jeff Perkins gets back ahead of Garunian. Brilliant battling there, a little bit of contact, but I don't think it was anything malicious. William Foyle, 4th place, charging from 8th place on the grid. He's looking to Justin Wellbeloved as they work on catching the pair of Swedish drivers up ahead. They broke away from the pack of these two, but Lee Horne is charging. No ballast on board, quickest man on the track. In terms of positions gained, he's gone from 11th to 5th. And it looks like he's going to catch these 4 up the front here very, very soon. He's getting very close to William Foyle already. Neil Crave just defending from Rostons and Garunian back there. Perkins has been joined by Agu Zagan, who has got past Chris Needham behind him. Agu Zagan having another blinding second race, as he did in Brands Hatch last time out. Here is Jonas Lindberg catching up ever so slightly with Alexander Jakobsen in front. Maybe the two have realised, yep, we better get into action, as the pair behind us are catching. Look at Lindberg actually reel in Jakobsen. He's trying the outside going into Canada's corner, but Jakobsen breaks away. That was a bad corner from Lindberg. He's got Wellbeloved right behind him now. Round turn 13. Wellbeloved not looking for a move there. He was more defending from Will Foyle, as very wide goes Lindberg, trying to get a better exit, I presume. Lee Horne will be joining the crew very soon with 3.5 minutes to go. There'll be 2 laps remaining as of now. And that's Lindberg looking to the inside of Jakobsen already. He's had enough. He's going to go for a move. He's got the inside. He makes his way in front. Oh, and Jakobsen late off the brakes gives Lindberg a big nudge. But they both get away safely. Jakobsen not going to make it, but he does give a nudge. There's a bit of a concertina effect there, but Lindberg breaks away. Coming out turn 2. And it's a long, long run now down into turn 5. Let's go on board with Lee Horne to keep an eye on everyone. That's Will Foyle looking for the opportunist move on Justin Wellbeloved. There's a little bit of a nudge behind. Lee Horne with a big upper hand of pace. Will Foyle late braking, but can't get it alongside. That's Jakobsen going wide. Jakobsen's gone wide, and he's had a bit of contact there with Will Foyle. And Will Foyle will lose 4th place to Lee Horne, potentially. Oh, I think Will Foyle might have a puncture. Oh, you're kidding. Even though he hit the gravel, and that might have understeered him, he has lost loads of positions there. He's all the way down in 12th already. That was a good race from Will Foyle, ended prematurely. But this battle for first rages on. Lindberg took the lead from Jakobsen, who's dropped to 3rd. Lee Horne is, well, right on the rear of these guys, but hasn't yet joined the party. Now, 15th place. 15th. Let's just see what's happening to Will Foyle. Has he got a puncture? Oh, I think he just had gravel on his tyres. But 15th place at the moment. Person who finishes 15th will be pole position for race 3 on the grid. And that's Alex Ward, newcomer at the moment. But a newcomer today. First race in NXTGEN Monday Night Race Rumours. But back to these two at the front. Look at Justin Wellbeloved, a huge run coming out of the final corner. He'll have the inside going into turn 1 as they start the final lap of this race. It's Britain versus Sweden. down towards turn 1. There's a back marker just ahead of them now. I think that was Steven de Gravelia. Now, Justin Wellbluff alongside Lindbergh, not giving much room. Neither of them giving much room to each other, but Justin completes the move. Lee Horne has completed the move for 3rd place. Justin Wellbluff takes the lead on the final lap here. Can he hang on? We'll see. Lee Horne, brilliant charge up the field from 11th. Lindbergh, big run on Justin Wellbluff as they approach turn 5. He will go to the inside. He'll have the inside. Justin Wellbluff, what answer has he got? That was a very late break from Jonas Lindbergh. The undercut from Justin has come. And he's got back ahead. That's Lee Horne's view with the battle up front. They'll be waiting for them to make a mistake. Lindbergh, you could say, has only really got one opportunity left. He needs a good run out of the carousel to get up the inside or outside of Canada's corner. And it's been a part of the track where we'd expect more overtaking to happen, but hasn't really come off successfully for many drivers today. Kilgren has taken 5th place, and therefore he would start in pole position as it stands. Alex Ward has lost the position to him. Will falls down there in 17th. Through the kink. There's a slowing Audi up ahead of them. They'll want that to be out of the way fairly quickly. Lindbergh's not going to be able to make a move on Justin Wellbluff. Or is he? Probably not. There's a move going on back there. Thought Fraser was going to go for a move, but it's not going to happen. It looks like Justin Wellbluff has got this wrapped up at the moment, just as long as he gets through the final 2 corners. Safe and sound. Lee Horne running very, very wide there, but it's not going to be enough. Wellbluff comes around the final corner, and Lindbergh with a very good run coming out of there. It's not going to be enough. Justin Wellbluff will come up the hill and pass the pit stalls to take the win in race 2 here at Road America. His first win of the season. Lindbergh comes through 2nd, a brilliant charge to the field from Horne to take 3rd. Jakobsen 4th, and oh, here we go again. Karunian will take 5th, Roston 6th, 7th Neil Crave, Oguzagan next. Oh my word. Jeff Perkis 9th, Roy Plummer 10th, Chris Needham in 11th, 12th will go to Ben Walker, Shannonier in 13th, Arnaldo Guedes in 14th, and pole position for race 3 will go to the 15th place finisher, Albin Kielgren. Alex Ward takes 16th place, and William Thor with either a puncture or really dirty tyres or suspension damage or anything like that. It happened with contact with Alexander Jakobsen and has dropped in down to 17th. What was looking like a huge, huge meeting from William Foyle has gone away, but we'll have to see if he can catch up through the pack in race 3. Steven de Gravelia comes through 18th. Jürgen Madsby Pedersen and Matthew Addy did not finish this race. Oh, that was hard work. There we go, there are your results. Jonas Lindbergh will take the fastest lap honours, but Justin Wellbluff, with a brilliant battle on the final lap, takes the win here at Road America. 3rd will go in the way of Lee Horne, with Alexander Jakobsen, who started pole, takes 4th. Zoraya Garunian, with big battling in that race, will take 5th, with Fraser Rostens in 6th. Neil Crave in 7th. A big charge up the field from Ogu Zagan from 19th to 8th. Brilliant from the Turkish driver there. Jeff Perkis in 9th, with Roy Plummer in 10th. Chris Needham will take 11th place. Ben Walker in 12th. Arnold Shannonier in 13th, with Arnaldo Guedes 14th. Kilgren will start on pole position for race 3. We'll be back very soon, guys. Just checking something there. Give us 5 minutes. The server will come back on. We'll be back for race 3 very soon. Welcome back, and race 3 coming up in just over 5 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back at Road America for round 3 of the Next Gen Power Max Racing WTCR League on Monday, season 19. I wonder if we're having a big season 20 coming up after this. We'll have to see. So a little recap of what happened in the last race. Oh, no, that's wrong. Should have done my homework before coming in here, but there we go. There's your race 2 results. Now it's a reverse grid of the top 15 drivers and an 18-minute race coming up. So Kilgren will line up on pole position for this race with Arnaldo Guedes in second. Chanonier will line up third with Ben Walker in fourth alongside him. Ben Walker was the championship leader coming into this race, and it might have gone away from him in this race. In fact, it probably has. I believe Lee Horne may have taken the lead in the championship right now. We'll see. We'll see. We don't have live updates of the championship with us, so later on in the season we'll have to get that enabled for us. Anyway, behind Ben Walker on the third row of the grid will be Chris Needham on his debut tonight, with Roy Plummer alongside him. Roy Plummer's been a bit quiet tonight. We need a bit more action from you, Roy. Jeff Perkins next, with Olgu Zagan alongside him. Then Neil Craven, Fraser Rostance, Soraya Garunian, Alexander Jakobsen, Lee Horne, Jonas Lindberg, and Justin Welblove will line up 15th. Will Foyle was charging through from an 8th place start and on maximum ballast, but a puncture, I found out, dropped him to 17th, sadly for him. Everyone's back in the service, so before we get started in just over 3 minutes time, this, I know I keep plugging it, but this is how you can get involved in the series that is Next Gen Racing. You can find the group on Facebook to get involved. Whether you're a fan or whether you're a driver wanting to get involved in any of the series going on, there's lots going on. Oh my word, just seen a bit of a head-on crash on the server then. Scared me a bit. Yeah, so Next Gen Racing, they do plenty of leagues. Raceroom, iRacing, Assetto Corsa Competition. What else we got? Gran Turismo, R Factor 2. There's another I'm missing. Loads. There's absolutely loads going on. So do get involved in if you like any of those sims. If you want to get involved in this one, Raceroom is a free game. So you just need to order it from Steam and it'll be on your PC. However, the content to race in this series is not free. The cars as a pack cost about 10 quid. And it's about £4-ish per car if you just have your eyes set on one. You might like the Cupra, which you can see in that image there. You'll get the Cupra for about £4, or you can get the whole thing and try out every car for about £10. The tracks are not free either. They range somewhere between £2.50 and £4.50. And they're the tracks they're racing this week. We're at round 3, Road America. Last week was Brands Hatch and 2 weeks ago was Portimao. Today, Road America, round 3. We'll head off next week to Zolder, and then a quick trip down to Czechia for round 5, the Autodrom Most circuit. We have a 2-week break in between rounds 5 and round 6 for Christmas and New Year, and then we'll be back for round 6 at Anderstorp Raceway, the Scandinavian GP circuit. Round 7 will take place at Mid-Ohio, over to China for the Ningbo circuit of round 8, round 9 back in Europe for the Aragon circuit in Spain, then over to Belgium for the final round of Spa-Francorchamps. Race 3 coming up very soon. Race 3 has been very dramatic in the previous 2 rounds. There's been a lot of swapping, and there was a lot of swapping and changing for the lead in round 1, and then Garunian came along and took it all away about halfway through the race and then stomped ahead. And last week it was just a 2-horse battle between Matthew Addy, I believe, and Arnaud Chanonier, who took the win and his maiden win in Next Gen at Brands Hatch last week. Will we have a new winner again? We've had 2 new winners already today. So if I try and add up who's won the races this season, Zariah Grunian's had 2. Race 2 at Portimao went to Jonas Lindberg. So that's 2 winners. Ben Walker took race 1 at Brands Hatch. Who took race 2? I cannot remember for the life of me who won race 2 last week. Just check the standings. This is what happened last week. We'll see it first in race 2. I was Lee Horne who won. How could I forget? The organiser himself. Get in contact with him if you want to get involved in this series. He took the win in race 2, and race 3 was Arnold Chenonier. Today, Will Foyle and Justin Wellblood. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different winners in 8 races so far this season. It's real exciting. Will we have a new winner in this race? I'm sure we'll find out in race 3 of today's 3rd round, so race 9 of the season here at Road America for the NXTGEN Power Max Racing WTCR League on Raceroom. We are nearly go for race 3 as the drivers line up on the grid. Better take a quick drink before we start because this could be a shouty one. Albin Kielgren will line up on the front row alongside Arnaldo Guedes. Lights are red. Green. Bad start for Kielgren. Guedes gets away really well and into first place straight away. That's Ben Walker charging towards and into second place. Chenonier also looking at it. It's a terrible start for Kielgren. But Guedes, by the looks of it, leading into turn 1 with Ben Walker. Championship leader coming into tonight's round right behind him. Ben Walker with a very, very good run through turn 1 there. Everyone so far through safely. That's Argu Zagan. We're watching there straight across the traffic there. Oh, and it's a big nudge on the rear of a Volkswagen. I've lost track of who's who, but that's Guedes charging away, and Ben Walker has lost out to Chenonier. Chenonier looking for another win tonight, it seems. He's going straight for the lead. Ben Walker late braking round the outside of Chenonier. Will the other drivers get through safe and sound? I believe they will. For this is a huge, huge gaggle of cars. Look at this coming through turn 6. Oh, it's hard to keep track of who's who. But look at this. Oh, on the outside, Neil Craig. This is Argu Zagan. Oh, and a big shunt up the side. That looked like Neil Craig got out of shape and couldn't help but go into Argu Zagan. Now back at the front, this is Ben Walker. Hasn't got an answer for Chenonier yet. That's Jeff Perkis behind him. Jeff is charged up to 4th from, I think it was about 8th on the grid. Great start from him. Here goes Chenonier in the Honda. Whoa, streaming past Guedes. And he gets past. That was a brilliant move from Chenonier to take the lead. Chenonier looking for his 2nd win of the season, it seems. And that's Ben Walker alongside Guedes. Can't make it past. It just hasn't been Ben Walker's day today. This is very unlike him. One running right back there was Argu Zagan in amongst the trouble again on this lap. But across the line, last week's race 3 winner leads lap 1 of race 3 here today. Arnold Chenonier leads the pack. Excuse me. Jeff Perkis has made his way into 3rd past Ben Walker. Ben Walker's just not having a day, it seems. And that's Guedes who's messed up coming out of turn 2. Jeff Perkis will go for 2nd place here. He's alongside and he looks like he's going to make it stick. Yes, he is. Jeff Perkis into 2nd place. A huge charge through the field so far. And we're only just over a lap into this race. Jeff Perkis will have his eyes set on the Frenchman in front of him of Arnold Chenonier, but he's still got to fend off Guedes just a little bit here. Ben Walker is defending from Albin Kielgren. In the Audi alongside him, here goes battle here, and that's Ben Walker. Oh, he's went a bit wide there, but it might be just enough to stay ahead of Kilgren. Yes, it is, and still on the outside of Jeff Perkins was Arnaldo Guedes. Under the cosh now from Ben Walker as well. This is allowing Chenonier to pull away a little bit. Oh, a big lunge from Guedes, not enough. You have to back out of that, sorry Guedes. It didn't have enough alongside him. And that's put Ben Walker right on the rear, but it's a long right-hander now round the carousel. Big long corner to get your momentum back. See if he has an answer back to Jeff Perkis. Big run on Perkis coming down towards the king. Perkis will have a bit more ballast than Guedes will. I'm just going to check quickly where Perkis finished. It was 9th, so yeah. Oh, look at that. Ben Walker up the inside of Guedes, and Guedes cut him off. And there's a big battle going on behind there as well amongst Neil Crave, Kilgren and Fraser Rostance. Kilgren's just dropping. The pole sitter is already down to 8th place, sadly for him. You've got Lee Horne there battling with Will Foyle. Will Foyle battling amongst Soraya Garunian, and that was Alexander Jakobsen dropping back there. Excuse me, and 10th battle there. Will Foyle and Soraya Garunian. Will Foyle would have started 17th in this race, already up to 10th. Both him and Lee Horne have been the chargers of the field so far today. Ben Walker trying to clear my throat at the same time then. He's got Neil Crave all over the rear of him. Can't get an answer for Guedes just yet. Chenonier, a good substantial gap ahead of Perkins at the moment of 1 second. If we've seen Perkins today and last week, he's a charger and will not give up on that win. Walker into turn 5. It's just not the Ben Walker we've seen in recent events. Slow down penalty. Soraya Garunian might have cut a corner or went wide a bit too much. That is Will Foyle making his way past Lee Horne there. Excuse me, sorry again. Up into 9th place is Will Foyle, and still hasn't cleared the slowdown is Soraya Garunian. Has he seen it as he's battling with Lee Horne? This is Jeff Perkins. He is losing from Chenonier. Chenonier, the race 3 master it seems this season. He just hooked up brilliantly in Brands Hatch last time out. A bit of a battle with Matthew Addy. A good conservative drive to win at Brands Hatch, a difficult track, and this is yet another difficult and bumpy track. He's just pulling away from Jeff Perkins ever so slightly at the moment. Oh, at the inside of Oguzagan is Fraser Rostance. Oguzagan shuts the door, and they're gaining very quickly on Neil Crave in front of them. Oguzagan up to 6th at the moment. Into turn 14. If we had a Forever Forward award this season, it would probably go to Oguzagan, as he has climbed many, many positions this season in Brands Hatch and here. Jeff Perkins is now 1.5 seconds behind Chenonier. He hasn't got an answer to the Honda driver at the moment. This is Fraser Rostance. He's got up the inside of Oguzagan. Agan has had to relinquish it, but try the undercut. Has to be careful he doesn't concede to Kilgren, and William Foyle behind him. Kilgren looking to the outside of Agan, and there's a big nudge from Aguznan. Oh, can't pronounce his name right. And Kilgren spun as a result. Nothing Kilgren could do there. He was just a spectator and collected by Oguzagan. But that has enabled William Foyle to get past Oguzagan now. Lee Horne has dropped back a lot from the car in front of Soraya Garunian, and Justin Welblev right there with a lot of ballast on boards, just sitting there in 11th at the moment. Hasn't gained many positions. This is Will Foyle looking for a redemption from a disappointing end to race 2. It didn't end his race, he carried on to the end with a puncture. Driving a direct drive wheel with a puncture must be torture. got to hunt down the two next-gen drivers of Fraser Rostons and Neil Crave. 3 different types of Volkswagens here. One's an Audi, one's a Cooper, and one is a Volkswagen. That was a good exit from Fraser Rostons. Fraser Frostons. That's a good name. That'd be his wrestler's name. Fraser Fostons. Guedes looking to get past or even alongside Jeff Perkins, and both went, well, Guedes cut the corner a bit and Perkins went really wide, but they're both gaining ever so slightly on Chenonnier up front there. Only a few tenths, but still gaining nonetheless. Ben Walker just sitting there in 4th at the moment. He's got no answer at the moment. William Foyle has made his way past Fraser Rostons. And Fraser's under pressure from Zoraia Garunian now, who's also got August Agan right behind him. It's late in the evening for August Agan and Zoraia Garunian, both East Europe region. It'll be around about midnight right now for them. Or near midnight, or past midnight, one of them. Both will be getting sleepy at this point. Or will they, as the adrenaline kicks in now to get race 3 as good as possible. Jeff Perkins has slipped behind Arnaldo Guedes and will try again, and this is allowing Chenonnier still to get away. The longer these 2 or 3 battle, the further ahead Chenonnier gets, and Ben Walker tries his hands at Guedes. Guedes loses 2 positions in one corner there. Really early braking probably didn't help him there, but Ben Walker has got himself into 3rd place ahead of Arnaldo Guedes, and William Foyle has got his way alongside Neil Crave. You'll have the inside for the next corner. Will he have the inside and the position for the following corner? Yes, he will. William Foyle gets himself into 5th place, having started 17th on the grid. Stunning driving from William Foyle today. Back at the front, this is Ben Walker. Has got himself up his position. They haven't had much opportunity to say that about Ben Walker today, which is such a rarity so far in this season. They're 1.5 seconds behind Arnaud Chenonnier, who is just driving a Sunday drive to get through to another race 3 win. He'll be as it stands, he'll be only the 2nd driver this season to have won 2 races. As Guedes trying to line up a move with Ben Walker, but not enough. Has to slot back behind him. Back behind them, it's close between this batch of cars here. That's Fraser Rostons with Garunian behind him, Crave in front of him. August Agan has slipped behind a little bit from Zoraia Garunian and has got Lee Horne to worry about now. William Foyle has got a lot to catch up to catch the top 4. But he's got no ballast. Real fast car underneath him. As long as these 2 in 3rd and 4th battle, will Neil, Fraser and Zoraia will catch up, and it could be a big battle for 2nd or 3rd brewing as we descend into the final 3rd of the race. 6 minutes to go. We'll have about 3 more laps. Big battle going on for 12th place at the moment between Jonas Lindberg, Alexander Jakobsen, Roy Plummer and Jürgen Madsby Pedersen, who hasn't finished a race so far today. He'll be looking for one now as he's put himself into the top 15. This is Lee Horne alongside August Agan. He has the inside, but August Agan will try to shut the door. Lee Horne slips behind. We'll have to try again on the next corner. Zoraia Garunian real close to Neil Crave as well, as is Fraser Rostons. Big nudge up the rear. Get a move on, Neil. We're going to be up there with Will Foyle. Around the carousel they come. Let's get on board with Zoraia Garunian. See how he gets on against Neil Crave through the kink. Oh, it was a Good exit from Zaraya there. Kettle bottoms now. There's side-by-side action further up. That's Guedes and Ben Walker. Ben Walker stays ahead. Zaraya Grunion has gone wide. That's going to allow Fraser Ruston to come through. Fraser gets through and hits Neil Crave. Is Neil Crave okay? Yes, I think he is. But now still side-by-side. Fraser goes round the outside on turn 13. 2 in almost 1 corner for Fraser Ruston's there, as he's got himself into 6th place. William Fall has broken away ahead of them, but that nails that one for Fraser. Probably a lot easier than he anticipated. And now it's a bit of a straight battle between Garunian and Neil Crave. Back there, Lee Horne is battling with Oguzagan still. Oh, and Crave's top end speed just much better than Garunian. Side by side between Agan, he goes very wide there into the marbles. That's going to slow him down a lot, as will the gravel. Justin Wellbeloved nips ahead, easier than he thought it'd be. Wellbeloved takes 10th place and has got his eyes set on Lee Horne now. Now we're back with Ben Walker. Oh, big shove from Guedes then. And Will Fall is right on these two now. Perkis has broken away from these two. Will Fall probably have to settle for 3rd eventually as he gets ahead of Ben Walker. And now round the outside of Guedes. Can't quite make it work. And that's a slowdown penalty for Zaraya Grunion yet again. Excuse me. Now that's Jeff Perkis. He seems to have... Well, he's still 2 seconds off Chenonier. And us here 2 seconds behind Perkis. When this one completes, we only have 1 lap left. And that's Will Foyle right in between Ben Walker and Arnaldo Guedes. Let's get on board as William Foyle is inevitably lining up an opportunity to get past Guedes. Right on the rear of him, he goes wide! Didn't quite work out for Foyle there. He might be under pressure from Ben Walker now. This will not be the moment where Will Foyle lines it up, and Ben Walker up the inside. Whoa, big move from Ben Walker there. A bit of understeer, and he had to make contact with Will Foyle. Oh, Will Foyle not giving up, and now that's given Guedes a little bit of headway. 3rd might be written off for either of these two drivers now. Round the final corner, Fraser Ruston might have joined the battle. Oh, and William Foyle making his way past Ben Walker real easily down the straight here. Almost too easy. And now Fraser Ruston is going to find his way past. What is going on with Ben Walker today? I know the Hyundai's not good down the straights, but this is different. He's lost 2 places on the straight there alone as Ben Walker. Something not right there. Check his throttle input there. Might not be hitting 100%. Might find out. Big 5-way battle now in the making between these two drivers. As Foyle has got to set his eyes on. Where's Chenonier gone? Chenonier has disappeared from the timing screen. The leader of the race going into the final lap is out. Some sort of a disconnection has happened, which has given the lead back to Perkis now. Similar happened to Perkis last week, where his computer crashed on him and it inherited the lead to someone else. He's now that driver who's been inherited with the lead, and that puts William Foyle back into 2nd place as he made the move on Guedes going into turn 5. Fraser Ruston is going to have his chance to take a podium now, but William Foyle, I've got to say, he's our driver of the day today. He has driven magnificently. Brilliant moves, big charges up the field. Real unlucky in race 2. It could have been so much better for him in that race, but he's my driver of the day. Excuse me. Ben Walker, a sitting duck on the last lap. Has he got anything to challenge these 2 Audis in front of him? The 22 car of Fraser Ruston's number 10 car of Arnaldo Guedes. This is the battle for the final spot of the podium. Who's going to get a big contact between Guedes and Ruston's? Coming out of the kink. Kettle's bottom now. Now down towards Canada corner. And Fraser Ruston and Guedes make contact. They both go into the wall. Fraser Ruston has lost it there, as has Guedes, and that puts Ben Walker and Zariah Grunion battling for third place. Zariah Grunion has made his way past. He's gained four places on this lap and has got himself into third place. But we've got to cut to Jeff Perkins as he comes up the hill to take his first win of the season. We've had 8 different winners this season, the 8th being Jeff Perkins, flamboyantly coming across the line with William Fall in second. Zariah Grunion takes third with a brilliant final lap with Ben Walker in fourth. Neil Craig takes fifth with Arnaldo Guedes in sixth. Lee Horne takes seventh. Justin Welbelev, the race 2 winner, takes 8th. Argo Zagan in 9th. Jonas Lindberg in 10th. Roy Plummer 11th. Alexander Jakobsen 12th. Alex Ward 13th. 14th will go in the way of Jürgen Madsby Pedersen. Kilgren will take the next position. Fraser Rostance, terrible drama on the final lap for him. But there's your results. Fastest lap goes to William Fall, unsurprisingly, but Jeff Perkins takes the win, his first of the season. A bit late on that, but it is his nonetheless. Zariah Grunion will take third with Ben Walker in fourth. Neil Cray fifth. Arnaldo Guedes sixth. Lee Horne 7th. 8th. Justin Welbelev. Argo Zagan 9th. Lindberg 10th. Roy Plummer 11th. Jakobsen 12th. Ward is 13th. Jürgen Madsby Pedersen 14th. Kilgren 15th. Rostenson 16th. Needham 17th. Chenonier, a disconnection from the lead, puts him 18th. De Gravelia 19th. And Matthew Addy, DNF in 20th. Well, what a race. What a night of racing we've had tonight. So many great moves. But that has been round 3 of the Next Gen WTCR League on Raceroom. If you want to get involved, find the Next Gen Racing group. Otherwise, we'll see you in a week's time at Zolder. You have to come back next week to find out who's leading the championship. I think it might be Lee Horne. It might still be Ben Walker. We're not too sure. But yeah, thank you guys. That was round 3 at Road America. Next week, Circuit Zolder. Thank you to Lee Horne for hosting. Thank you to the drivers turn up, and thank you to you for watching. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.